If you want to live forever, then register to vote in Jocelyn Benson's Michigan. There are 16,666 people registered to vote in Michigan who are over the age of 100. That's bigger than the population of Grosse Pointe Woods. The only problem is, the Social Security Administration says there are only 2,119. Now, I only went to public school in Michigan, but even I know that 16,666 does not equal 2,119. Something stinks. For whatever reason, Benson, who studied political science, picked a fight with Elon Musk, who studied actual science, and Benson, of course, gets it wrong. Musk quotes the numbers that there are more registered voters in Michigan than adults. The Secretary of Sham says that's because there are 1.2 million inactive voters on the rolls, and she plans to purge them in 2027, after the election. Benson accuses Musk of spreading disinformation.
We will come for you.
But it is you who are discorrect, Madam Secretary. He's using your official numbers.
Go yourself.
Benson believes she is the Kaiser of the collective will.
Don't even think about it because we'll get you.
She says signatures on absentee ballot envelopes should be ignored. Firearms should be banned at polling places. Michigan, don't vote for Bobby Kennedy. That one man must be on the ballot even though he doesn't want to be, while another must be taken off the ballot even though he doesn't want to be. Madam Benson also insists you don't need proof of citizenship to register to vote in Michigan if you're living overseas and have never lived in America or Michigan.
Are you kidding me?
Musk is 100% correct. Something's not right when Michigan has a higher percentage of registered voters than Vermont. You know Vermont, where they all seem to have gone to college, speak French, and post the speed limit in kilometers?
Millionaires and billionaires.
That's right, Bernie. Now, we're not claiming fraud. Not yet. But why give the goons and baboons a reason? Yes, you may be able to live forever if you register to vote in Michigan, but remember, you'll die waiting for them to count your vote.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's the No Bullshit News Hour with my main man, Charlie LeDuff. And Karen Dumas.
It's just it, breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
6 days to go at a partridge in a pear tree. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss being angry. I'm going to miss all the clips. Yeah, you're right.
No, you're not.
What am I going to do?
I'm sure you'll find something.
What's there left to do? Nothing. So let's just hope. What'd you say, Karen?
Something underwater.
Way to fix it. We'll fix that in post. Spin a knob or something. Karen's in Puerto Rico right now. How's the garbage? My God. Okay. So we're going to have Steve Mitchell on later in the program. He's a pollster, and I'm pretty much going to guess Steve's going to say it's too close to call because he's going to milk this for every penny. These pollsters. I'm sick of these polls. I mean, does anybody not know how they're voting? Jen?
I do.
You know you're okay. So here's the thing. First of all, we have a Karen, so we don't need a Karen, and Nancy's busy at the law firm, so we got Jenny from the Burbs. We got a working white woman, and white women ain't getting the respect here in this election. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that.
Because like white women are 40% of voters, right? And here's what they're calling it, Jen. They're calling it the education gap. There's the white women with a college degree. They went to Vassar and, you know, they studied post-colonial feminism. And then there's working women who, like I'm going to guess, have some college. What'd you study at?
Community college,
Community
Wayne County, nursing.
Nurses, right? Working people. What do they consider nurses, Karen? And Jen? What would nurses be? Would those be educated women? Because they're working women too.
I mean, I would hope so. I would hope our nurses and medical staff are educated.
Well, they are, but do we consider them working?
Doesn't seem like it.
So if you're a cop and you have a college degree, are you a working person? Or are you a college person?
It's a good question.
Yeah, there you go. See, I just don't get this. But here's the deal. 40% of voters are women. And 17% of voters are women with a college degree. And 22% are women without a college degree. Women with the college degree go 60-40 Democrat. Mm-hmm. And women without the college degree go 60-40 Republican.
Yep.
I hate to look at you like a lab specimen, but why is that?
I personally believe that my demographic, we feel
aging
a
white
little,
woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
Sorry.
This was a nice show. I kind of feel like we're ignored and alienated. You know, it doesn't really matter what our voice is. Nobody really entertains us.
The working woman.
Yeah.
But like
you said, the less educated woman, right?
Yeah, but like 1 out of 4 human beings in this country voting is that person.
Agreed.
And, you look at the media, again, the college educated, and they call it the education gap. But I know you're not dumb at all.
Appreciate that.
Right. at all, right? Raising kids. So what is the disconnect? Why are white women at war?
Oh, that's a really deep question. I don't know if I can answer that properly.
I think you could. You just don't want to.
Yeah, kind of.
Because they're kind of stuck up and arrogant.
Well, there is definitely that. There are areas where you go where you don't feel you fit in, that your voice isn't heard, that you are looked down upon because of not having that big elitist degree. Whether it's where you work, where you play, anywhere like that. Even in going to like sporting events, there's a big separation of those who are financially sound from their not having their, college debt and things of those things, and those of us who are working to get out of it to provide more for our kids.
I thought I heard something, Karen. Is your mic back on?
I sense a sense of classism, and I know, Charlie, you talked a little bit about over the years the economic disconnect. And Jen, are you saying that is within the demographic of white women, that there's that separation? That I wouldn't imagine that existed.
I mean, I can't speak for every white woman, but I would say definitely I feel that way, and a lot of my colleagues and friends that I communicate with daily have that same disconnect.
It's the times we're living in. When you're working people, you have less money. Mm-hmm. Okay, so especially you don't have daycare. You're right. The electricity bill going up, you notice it.
Yep.
The taco salad you were bitching about yesterday.
Oh my gosh, the taco salad.
Go ahead, tell us about the taco salad.
The taco salad. I actually, it's interesting, but looking at our grocery bills throughout the weeks, I looked up how much it would be to make a fresh taco salad for a family of 5. How is taco salad for 5 people going to be $60?
$60?
Yeah, well, I mean,
rounding off.
It was rounding off. It was $57.49, but
look at that. She knows rounding off. Look at that. And you.
It was asinine. And
so
there
wait
were
a minute.
No
it was 57 what?
$57.49.
So you would round that to 55, Jen, because
we go down
55. What was it again?
57.49.
If it was 57.50. Then you would round up to 60.
Yep, all the way.
So you have to round.
Great
it.
man.
You just like to guesstimate.
Let me mansplain it to you.
Let me lady explain it to you. It was like $100.
I mean,
it was $100.
But seriously, $60 for one meal
for a taco salad.
What kind of beef did you get?
Ground chuck. Wow. Yeah. And it wasn't even the super lean stuff.
See, I thought ground chuck was the fat stuff. That just goes to
There's
show.
2 different kinds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's I'm going to see what working class Jen. thinks about this. There was the Madison Square rally. It's a comedian, Tony Hinchcliffe. He's got a podcast. It's a roast, and this is what this is the news today. Like, as if gas, food, electricity, daycare is not the question. It's Hitler at Madison Square Garden. This is what he said about Puerto Rico.
Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies, too. Just know that. They do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Your take on that, white girl?
Interesting. It's an interesting.
Well, it was funny, but Trump didn't say that. He did. But you're at Trump's rally, and everybody, left-wing media is saying, the American Nazi Party held a rally in Madison Square Garden in 1939. Without telling you that was the old garden. It's not even the same freaking building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tony, what are you doing? Even you're going, oh man. Right?
That's tough.
Because in the context of what he just didn't, that wasn't a one-off.
No, that was wildly insulting in so many ways.
Now,
I think the problem is the fact that, it says Trump Vance in front of him. If he's doing that in Austin where he does his show, and I listen to his show, I like his show. I think Tony's really, really funny. I laughed at some of them. No, I mean, it's all about the setting and whoever wants to be outraged at whatever given moment. I'm kind of surprised that he is getting so much heat for it, though.
He fucked up. See, because
because it says Trump Vance in front of him.
Because all it does is, like, the election, people know how they're voting. Mm-hmm. It's just, it comes down to those that weren't going to vote.
Yep.
And if somebody said something so I'm fucking going, man. Fuck that guy.
Yep.
Right? Now I'm getting off the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the deal. Like, here's what's upsetting working people being in Michigan, right? Mm-hmm. This Tony guy's from Ohio. Now he's out. He's a big star, right? Like, this election went from us and taco salad and gasoline to these hand-picked elites on both sides lecturing to us. Mm-hmm. See, so Tony's not worldly. If you've been to Puerto Rico's got a huge trash problem. Like 90% of their landfills are full.
Yeah.
Like there is garbage everywhere, and we've done nothing for them. And it is an American territory, and Puerto Ricans can vote, and they get slammed by hurricanes, and we leave them in the dark forever. So there's something real to that. But what Tony doesn't know, and when you do a roast, right? The roast is you're roasting the person in front of you.
Yeah, it's not a roast if they're not there.
Right. So, you know who was there? New York City. Mm-hmm. You know what's part of New York City? Staten Island. Stinking Island. Do you want to know where the world's largest landfill in history is? Stinking Island.
Yeah.
It's in Staten Island. They're in that building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Staten Island dump. Yep.
Staten Island's majority white. It's majority Republican. And, like, he didn't know it. That was an easy one.
Well, maybe there's an educational gap there.
Exactly.
You know?
You been to Puerto Rican, Karen? Puerto Rico?
Yes, I've been to Puerto Rico 3 times.
And they have a lot of garbage, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but it's beautiful. It's not one of my favorite places to visit. I wasn't impressed or overwhelmed by it. I drove from San Juan to Ponce, which was one of the most beautiful drives I've ever taken. But I mean, it's nice. No big deal.
Yep, you just stay on a nice beach. You don't have to look at it. You know, but they got made. It's an American place. It's got major drugs. Just the cartels. It's Puerto Rico's no joke. But then let's do this on the flip side. Remember, it wasn't Trump that dropped the comment about Puerto Rico. Right. It was a guy with Trump's name in front of him. Now, here's the president of the United States, not Kamala Harris, who's running for president, but her boss. Mm-hmm. And Now this one's going around, and I woke up this morning and it's over. I'm getting it from the Republicans this time, right? It's over. I got it 2 days ago from the Democrats. It's over. Look at this asshole.
Yeah.
Now here's the President of the United States talking about the deplorables.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Tina is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Now I'm going to ask you. You don't have to answer, but who you leaning towards voting for here?
Very proudly Trump.
Voting Trump. So the President of the United States just called you garbage.
Yeah, he did.
And a racist.
Well, it's kind of how he's made me feel the past 4 years as well.
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Elucidate.
I mean, working white girl Jen over here, nothing has been for us. Nothing has been benefited. We have had no improvement whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Everything, I mean, I feel like it's like Gotham City at this point. Nothing makes sense. It can't be real.
You work downtown, you see the homeless issue, you see people are broke,
It's devastating.
It is, right?
It breaks, I'm not great at that because it breaks my heart.
So you're voting, here, I have it here. Okay. Here's what the Trump supporters, according to the polls, their main issues are, well, I don't even have to look. I know what it is. The economy.
Okay.
Immigration.
Sure.
Foreign affairs.
Okay.
Okay. World's on fire. People are
Everything's
bum rushing, and you can't afford it, and you got to pay for the newcomers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dumpster fire, yeah.
The issues for the Harris voters are, number one is abortion.
Oh.
Which has been decided here, but okay. Number two is Trump. Like, I just don't want Trump.
Right.
Anybody but Trump. And then third is jobs in the economy.
That's third.
Yeah, it's third.
That seems like a pretty educated way to put it.
Because you don't have to, yeah.
Right.
You're not really worrying.
No.
You got something in the bank, you got stocks.
Yep.
Right? And you're inoculated.
He's pretty
from it.
entitled. You have no idea what the real world is like.
Right. And you're, my neighbor, like some guys were climbing a tree, trimming it yesterday. Yeah, it used to be like this old white dude, right?
Yeah.
A couple of rednecks helping him. Now it's the Latin guys. And I'm like, and he goes, hey, they're cheaper. That's what he said. And I'm like, okay, I'll say that on my show.
Our neighborhood right now is, you can't turn down any street whatsoever because there's so much road work being done. Similar situation.
Latin guys.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, there is something called the market principle. Like this is economics for a second, which is back in the day, we had factories, Europe had factories, Brazil had factories, and you would compete.
Yeah.
Right? So you didn't want tariffs because tariffs would keep American prices high because they're not competing with Brazilian prices. But something new has happened in the last 30 years that we've never seen in the history of the world, which is the means of manufacturing. The factories have been lifted and deposited where there's cheap labor. So, yeah, our prices went down, but so did the price of our labor. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I do.
And so we were looking it up yesterday. Mm-hmm. To get a new TV, Mark, a new TV, 40-inch, right?
Yeah.
All the buzzers,
bells and
and whistles.
Smart TV, Connect, yeah.
140.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Jen,
the one thing that's dropped in price like crazy.
140. Jen, what do you spend a week for groceries?
Rough guesstimate for a family of five, $500.
$500. So you can get 3 TVs.
Well, thank goodness.
So you can get the TVs.
Can we just look at the meals on the TV then?
Karen, what's
that'll work?
What's your grocery bill a month?
A lot. I mean, because but let me say, I don't like do grocery shopping. Like I just go buy what I need, and I go to 2 or 3 different places, and I probably go to places that aren't necessarily the most cost effective. So a lot. But I wanted to point out something. There's a commercial that the Harris campaign is running. And it starts, with Donald Trump speaking at a black tie dinner, saying, "I'm gonna, you're all rich as hell. I'm gonna give tax cuts." And then it cuts to a white woman, and she says, "I'm not rich as hell. I'm struggling." To me, that's not a very productive commercial, because my first question would be, why are you struggling? You're coming out of 4 years of a Biden-Harris administration, and you're struggling. that's an indication that there's something wrong. How do you feel about that, Jen?
I feel like everyone's struggling at this point. I mean, it's a conversation that we have at our table in the car every single day. And it's simply, how is it this way? We're working constantly. We're educated. Our children are doing well. It's not like we are blessed in the sense of that our children are healthy. You know, it's not something where we're shelling out tons of money to make sure that our family needs a medical, you know, something along those lines. It truly is every single day. It's carpooling every day. It's making sure that when we have to go to athletic events for kids, okay, well, we're not all driving separate because that means on Sunday I'm filling up again. Or it's, oh, okay, well, we got to be there for a couple of hours today, so let's make sure we pack our meals so that way we're not hitting fast food on the way home because we can't shell that out. And by no means should our family be in that situation. We do well and we work hard. And for it to be like, gosh, like our electric bill went up $200, our water's this and that, it is exhausting.
Yeah.
And for our table, for our family, we can't wait till Tuesday because we're praying that something's going to change.
You know what's worrisome is the inability to save. Like, you can get through today, but, you know, we get older. We've all had a look at, like, end of life care in this country. You know, working women know that because you tend to have your family with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's, what are we going to do? I mean, that's, you know, I don't mind not stopping at McDonald's. Like, you know,
right.
That's what we used to do back in the day. Mm-hmm. But you were able to save and get a house, and you can't afford shit.
Yep. It's mind-boggling. It truly is.
And then let me step in here just for a little math. The Trump economic plan is bullshit. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm going to I cut taxes last time, and corporate receipts went up. Right? They went up. We cut taxes. That means you invest it, and we're selling more, and everybody's got more. No. Okay, here's the numbers, rounding it off. Corporate tax collection from the federal government since 2013, right? Obama's time, have gone up in 2023 by 10%. Okay, good. Oh, they went up. That's good. Adjusted for inflation.
Okay.
But the gross domestic product, right, economic activity, went up 25%. So they got a net, really nice tax cut there. Now, deficit spending went up 400%. If we didn't spend $2 trillion a year and we borrowed it, the economy would be in deep recession. It would have been so since 2008. The economy wouldn't be growing at all except for the fake money. So it didn't work. It's not working. That's why you have inflation, because we got to keep printing money, because we keep spending shit we don't have. Mm-hmm. And cuts for everybody isn't really the answer. It's not going to get us there.
No.
So if I tell you that, what if I told you nothing's going to change Tuesday?
Hopefully it doesn't get worse.
Is that?
That's where our hopes lie. I hope it doesn't get any worse. And with the way things are going, there needs to be some sort of change. So you have to have hope for something. Otherwise, what do we have?
Right. Our kids, worries.
Yeah.
Fits, sickness, you know. Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry. Shit, did I say that? Fuck. So depressed.
I don't care what party is in leadership. Think of all the promises that have been made over the years. And as Jen pointed out, people are struggling. Everybody's struggling just in a different capacity and to a different degree. This country has too many resources for people to live the way they do. And there isn't any end in sight because it appears to be that's the way it was structured.
I agree.
Amen, sister.
I agree. So blow it up. So I'm just looking for the blow it up. Because
is that the option?
I always said I've never voted for a Clinton. I've never voted for a Bush. I never voted for a Biden, and I never voted for a Trump because I was just always like, this shit's got to change. You know, I was always just doing third party, man. I fucking protest, you know. And like I've been to Puerto Rico for work. I've been to Hawaii for work. I've never been on a vacation.
Yeah.
I've never taken a cruise, you know. I always did what they told me here in sensible Michigan, you know, working class people. Save your money, go to the lake.
Yep.
You don't got to go to Lake Tahoe, go to Lake Huron. It's awesome.
It is.
And I tried to save money and look out for my family. And every day goes by, the money's worth less and less and less.
It definitely gets you less now.
It does. Okay, so here's what's going on. White men put Trump in office, right? Mm-hmm. And then white men left Trump and put Biden in office.
Yep.
He lost 11% of the college-educated white guy and 5% of the non-college educated white guy. They're moving back. And Trump's picking up black guys. And he's picking up Spanish guys, right? Mm-hmm. So now it's really about women. It's you know.
Well, it's about time. It's about us.
Right, Karen? But right now, still as a Democratic bloc, black women are staying with the Democrats. I don't really know what Latinas are doing. It's hard to know. So if it's a 20-point gap with white women, why is it that, do we have that tape that Harris and Whitmer clear out a sports bar to watch Sunday Night Football, I guess, and let's watch this. Mark, do we have it?
Yeah, there's two of them here.
All right, let's.
I'm so pissed if somebody cleared my bar.
Yeah.
Like, did we think about that?
They didn't even order yet.
I am having what she's having. It's an Oberon, and it's made right here in Kalamazoo, which many are calling Kamalazoo.
Pause.
Okay.
Oh.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
No one's ever called it that.
No, I haven't heard that. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that.
Kalamazoo. Okay. So now, Jen.
Could she pronounce Kalamazoo properly there? She had a hard time. Kalamazoo. Just saying. Try reciting it.
So Jen from the Burbs walks into a sports bar, takes the joint over. Are you ordering an Oberon, which, by the way, 200 calories and a lot of sugar?
You know,
What do you-
I don't know about that, Charlie.
What's this? High noon? Look, high noon, only 100 calories, gluten-free,
So
and no
refreshing, too.
sugar.
So refreshing.
So refreshing. Now,
no, I'm definitely not ordering a half and bison on a Sunday. I mean, not to mention, you can only have one or someone's carrying you out.
okay,
You gotta
so
think about the logistics.
what about some Pete and Grigio?
That's not my jam.
Okay, it's the high noon.
It's the high noon.
Okay,
It
so
depends on who's buying.
So the old Oberon trick's not working for you.
Absolutely
Well, it's
not.
not working for a single fucking guy. So all these pinheads that they've hired to do TikTok videos, they're stupid. Like, again, they don't know us, and it's so obvious. Karen, you would have had what? You would have had a tea.
She would have.
I would have had a diet. I would have had a Diet Coke. But it's Charlie. It's the pandering that comes from both sides that we've been talking about. Everybody wants to be seen as average and normal and middle class and relatable, but they don't know what those things are, and they don't know how to relate to the very people that they say they're trying to appeal to. And it does. It comes across as disingenuous and insulting. I mean, it does from both sides.
It does. From both sides. Where have I heard that one? That's been. I'm gonna miss this season. It is so true because my mother didn't have health care. Gretchen Whitmer. My mother got sick and didn't have health care. Your fucking dad is the CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield. The fuck are you talking about?
Honestly, if I have to hear it one more time, I came from a middle-class working family. I can't do it. At this point, it's everyone's changing the channel.
Kamala
immediately.
Harris's parents were fucking professors. She grew up in Montreal. She's not even from here. My mother had to save for a house. Well, so did all of our mothers have to save for a house.
Yeah.
And now none of us who are mothers can save for a house. That's the point. Have you ever worked at McDonald's?
No.
Well, so much for you then.
Is that where my life's going?
I guess. Well, you don't have any cred.
Hey.
You don't have any cred.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Burger King?
No.
What was your first job?
In ophthalmology.
Your first job as a kid is in ophthalmology?
Oh, no, I actually worked in photography when I was in high school.
You did?
Yeah, I was like a wedding assistant. It was actually fabulous. I loved it.
See that? Okay. And what was the name of the company?
Faith Face Photography.
And where was this company?
It was based out of New Boston.
New Boston, Michigan.
Correct.
And you remember what street it was on?
I think it was on Old Fort Street. It was just this lovely old lady. She was a retired teacher and got into photography, and I was a student, and that was my jam.
Look, Karen, Jenny from the Burbs remembers where she worked her first job. You would think if you worked at McDonald's and it's a centerpiece, that you would know where it was, right?
Yeah, I think your first job, I mean, that's a milestone in everybody's life. So if in fact, wherever it was, you do remember. I mean, Jen remembers the street that it was on.
I know, right?
The
I'm impressed by that.
So it's a significant thing. You should remember.
I worked in the back of my mom's flower shop on Jefferson and Marlboro on the east side. And then the first corporate job, this is, because I got an education.
There you go.
It was a dishwasher at Chi-Chi's on Schoolcraft Road. And you want to know what's fucked up? Right next to Clover Lanes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the big curvy, looked like a ski jump?
Yeah.
Man, them fucking nacho platter motherfucking fuck, because you back there, the cheese won't come off them fucking, them metal
platter,
plates.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't. It was shit. Terrible. And now it's gone.
I'm glad you worked through that.
No, I fucking quit. I'm like Trump, man. 15 minutes, I'm the fuck out of here. I wish my daddy was rich. Once called my dad, could you help me out, with...
You know how many of my nurse friends bartend on the weekends?
Really?
I would say 98% of them. Anyone in the medical field has a second job.
Well, because they like the sociality, because you get paid well as a nurse.
You do get paid well as a nurse, but it's not enough.
Not enough firemen out there. Hello? What?
Anyone out there?
We'll fix that in post. Was a little sexist. Okay, can we continue on with the bar scene?
Cheers.
Cheers. Yay. Okay, so they're looking around, cheering everybody. They didn't really drink out of that.
No.
Sip.
And I'm surprised I didn't see it.
There's no courtesy.
She goes, we're in trouble with guys. And now here it comes. Right?
Everyone's heard is that we need to get rid of the ground. Yeah. Oh, we have microphones and listening to everything. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay. Well,
You'll bleep my F words.
We just told all the family secrets. Shit.
For sizzle. Yeah. I didn't notice all those guys behind the bar crouching there taking video of me either. This didn't sway you? This wasn't for you. This was for me.
Unfortunately, it missed.
It missed. It's a big miss.
Big miss.
Okay. Well, good luck Tuesday, Jen.
Thank you. I need that.
And, there could be a future for you in this. They ought to consult.
In politics?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, because I'm so educated.
I know a lot of people with a lot of letters after their name that can't pour piss out of a boot with directions on the bottom. So it's not about the degrees. I mean, education and awareness comes from real life experiences and the ability to, relay those and convey those to everybody else. And so in that sense, you win.
I win.
Karen
said it.
Do you know I've been knighted that I am
Karen.
an Earl of the Order of the OBE? I'm the Earl of OBE. I am an earlobe.
Oh, my gosh.
I have a master's in journalism.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's what you got for it.
We'll be back right after this. This message of Uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice. Want to play a song, Bill?
Let's play a song.
Hit me. Just around the corner, there's heartache. Down the streets that losers use. If you can wade in through the teardrops, you'll find me at the home of the blues. I walk and cry while my heart beats keeps time with the drag of my shoe. The sun never shines through this window of mine. It's dark in the home of the blue. Oh, but the place is filled with the sweetest memories. so sweet that I cried. Feelings I had left me feeling so bad that I just want to give up and lay down and die. So if you've just lost your sweetheart, it seems there's no good way to choose. Come along with me, misery loves company. You're welcome in the home of the blues. Just around the corner there's heartache. Down the streets that losers use. If you can wade in through the teardrops, you'll find me at the home of the blues. Yeah, you'll find me in the home of the blues.
I'm Grace Karos, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
Okay, no legitimate news program, especially this one, which is Steve Mitchell of Mitchell Research and Communications joining us. No big-time political show, and this is the biggest one. This is the biggest political podcast and radio show in the state of Michigan. And we want to welcome in the Ayatollah of Pola, Steve Mitchell of Steve Mitchell Research and Communications. Now, Steve, before you came on, we had Downriver Jen, working-class white woman. This thing, well, first of all, tell us, from your polling, what's the race look like right now, a week out, 6 days from election?
Well, we're going to be announcing a poll tomorrow morning.
Hold on. Breaking news. Come on.
Breaking news, but
come on,
breaking
Steve. Just tell me, bro. Well, I'm going to tell everybody.
Tell you and all of your audience. I can tell you that it continues to be a very close race. It has been a very close race. The last 4 polls we've had have been identical, showing basically Donald Trump leading in the 2-way, but tied in the 8-way race. And of course, it is an 8-way race. There are 8 names on the ballot.
So I've been waiting all morning for you to patch in, and you're coming up with, it's really close?
It is.
Karen?
So what is going to be, or who is going to be the deciding demographic or factor in this? Because I have been hearing that it's close, but what's going to make the difference in the outcome?
You know what we have seen for decades, a real gender gap with women. Republicans just have not done well with women, and now the Democrats are facing the fact that they're just, quite frankly, not doing particularly good with men voters. As a matter of fact, men voters are voting in a higher number for Trump than women are voting for Kamala Harris.
And thus, it's really close.
Pardon?
And therefore, it's really close.
It is very, very close.
God, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I think this whole thing's a game so you guys can make money for a whole year. Because the last time national polls are like Biden by 14, and it was like Biden by 3, right? And then we get the gobbledygook of, well, if you actually average it, the day before. So I got a feeling every poll's going to be like it's neck and neck come Monday, right?
Well, there's some. I mean, I don't think I've not seen anybody more than 3% out on either candidate. So, the Real Clear Politics average, I think now is Harris up by 0.05 in Michigan. And that's the first time she's been up in Michigan in a long time, but she is up 0.5 in Michigan.
According to what poll? The Glenn Ross?
No, that is that is an average of polls by RealClearPolitics.com.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk white women. White women, right? We had a white woman on. Here's more or less. I know you're the Ayatollah, so I got to round off. Okay, you'll understand. White women constitute about 38 to, I'm going to round off, 40% of all voters. So it's a really huge block. White women go 55-45 Trump, Republican. So he actually pulls more women, but when you break it down, and this is really insulting, the education gap, they call it. As if working women aren't educated, right? They just didn't finish their humanities degree in women's studies. Okay, somehow you're smarter if you got one of those. Jen never finished it, right? She only went to eyeball school, so she's smart. So it's basically 60% of women with a bachelor's degree are going for Harris, and 60% of women without the bachelor's degree are going for Trump. So it's 20 points. That's the sweet spot, right? That's where you can convince or you can sway an election. You got to talk to white women, and white women are at war with each other. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Well, I'm not sure I'd agree they're at war, but yeah, I think that is a very important group, and the more that Trump and Rogers can siphon off, the better it will be for their campaigns. And I will give you some information that is different, and that is in all of the polls that I've done prior to the one that we'll be announcing tomorrow, Rogers has not tracked with Trump. Rogers has been 3-4 behind. Right now, we're showing Rogers tracking with Trump, almost identical. If they're voting for Trump, they're voting for Rogers.
So that means Rogers might, you can't tell me, you can tell me if you want to, but Rogers might have pulled in front of Slotkin and her $100 million spent in that race is possible, right? Like it's dead nuts even.
It is let me say it again, a very close race. Looking at ways to say it. It is closer than 2 pages in a book.
I have this book here, Detroit.
So Steve, if you were a betting man, who would you bet on for the outcome of Tuesday's election?
I honestly, if somebody put a gun to my head, I don't know. As a pollster, you take a look at very good polling companies being just a little off. Maybe some saying +2 for Harris, others saying +2 for Trump. It's too close to call. It depends on who gets their vote out. I would not be.
Well, there you go. Got to get rid of him. Too close to call. I mean, that's what we got. That's why Steve makes the big money. Too close to call.
Well, you can make calls, but again, it's a guess. My guess is as good as your guess. I know the facts, and because I know the facts, because I know the numbers, I know how close it is. And as a pollster, these things are going to move, and they could move out 1 or 2 or 3 points in one way or the other, depending on what happens on election day or during this whole run-up with the early voting, which is huge in Michigan right now. A couple of million people have voted already by early voting or by absentee voting. So it is, I know, anticlimactic to say, shucks, it's going to be a very close race, but it appears to be a very close race.
Well, there you have it. Steve Mitchell of Mitchell Research and Communications calling it very close.
Charlie, Steve, maybe one of you know this. When do we start seeing indications of the early voting results? I mean, talking about all these, early voting and absentee ballots. When is there an indication of what those numbers look like?
Well, here's what I know. This whole thing's nuts because tomorrow, Thursday, I will be going to Cobo Hall, TCF, Huntington Place, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to start processing and tabulating the Thursday before the Tuesday. We're going to already start counting votes. It's weird, and it's probably not the best thing in my opinion. I'm not claiming any fraud. I'm not that kind of guy, but sometime in the future, if this keeps up, it's real simple. Well, we're down 8,000 right now. Somebody go out there and start, wrangling 8,000 votes. I'm kind of against it, but
I agree with you, Charlie, 100%.
Thanks, Steve. And then, these overseas people that never lived in Michigan, somehow they're registering to vote without a passport number, a social security, an ID. their ballots have to arrive to the clerk's office 6 days. That's the limit, 6 days after Tuesday. So if they can come up with a couple 100,000 people over there, this is like it's like a Christmas season, Steve. It's ridiculous.
Look, I'm a firm believer that election day should end on election day. If election day ends at 8 p.m. Tuesday, that's it. Your vote's in or it's not in. Too bad if it comes in after 8 p.m. It should not count.
Okay, there you go. You have that from Steve. That's a certainty right there. Final question, Steve. I have never in my life voted in a primary. Never. I vote in every election, major election, whether it be for mayor, it be for Congress, it be for president, a governor. Why am I never called? Like, I am more than a likely voter. I'm a for sure voter, and I'm an independent. And no pollsters ever called me, texted me. Why is that? How do you pick people?
Essentially, we take a look at, we've got a database of 8.2 million telephone numbers, either landlines or cell phones. And out of that 8.2 million, we'll pick out, say, a sample of 100,000, and we'll probably call about 50 or 60,000, sending them a text message asking them to go to a SurveyMonkey poll. So the chances of you getting a text message to do that are pretty small, given the number of people in the state of Michigan and the number of people who are actually going to get called. So that's why you haven't been called yet, Charlie.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. I know you're busy. Remember to vote often. And thanks for taking the time this morning.
It's been my pleasure, Charlie. It's great to see you and to see Karen as well.
You look well. All right, brother. Talk to you.
Bye.
And now, quick note from our sponsor. Archangel, are you an entrepreneur looking for a safe and socially responsible real estate investment? I don't mean to make it sound like this, but it's franchising. It's franchising. You are a caregiver. You buy the product from Archangel. The flow, they staff it for you. They get the property. That's what the investors come in for. And you, like a restaurant, work it off, and eventually you become the owner. The investor gets paid. The caregivers can actually end up being their own bosses. People get to live in communities. They're clean. They're small. They're tight. If you are interested in investing in this, you'll get a better explanation from Archangel. 989-614-0416. Believe me, this is the future. This is what's happening in Abu Dhabi. This is what's happening in Phoenix, Arizona. It is the new way. We've seen what's squalor and filth. And by the way, who else benefits? The people that live in these places,
The
right?
people that need care.
The people that need care, that work their whole lives, that don't want to be sucked dry and left in a dirty diaper. It's not like that. It's a nice communal living organization. Archangel, 989-614-0416. Want to do another song, Bill?
Let's do another song.
Hit me, brother. My uncle used to love me, but she died. A chicken ain't no chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Oh, bet a quarter, 30 cent for a ring of keys, $3.65 for a dollar bag of groceries. I have me a car on someday till I need me a ride. My uncle used to love me, but she died. My uncle used to love me, but she died. A chicken ain't no chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Hamburger, cup of coffee, lettuce, and tomato. 2 times a ride. See a man kiss an alligator. 1 more time around free on the Ferris wheel ride. My uncle used to love me, but she died. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Chicken ain't a chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Apples off for eating and snakes off of hissing. I know about hugging, I know about kissing, 'cause I read about it free in a 50-cent illustrated guide. My uncle used to love me, but she died. My uncle used to love me, but she died. A chicken ain't a chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Well, now my uncle used to love me, but she died. A chicken ain't a chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died. My uncle used to love me, but she died. Chicken ain't chicken till it's licking good fried. Keep on the sunny side. My uncle used to love me, but she died.